Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's, I don't know, we're like a month and a half into this project. This is, what is today, Wednesday? So today we have got the engine assembled. I got the engine assembled last night. I didn't get any content of it because I just started slapping things together. But today, as soon as Eddie gets here, we're gonna slap the transmission on and we're actually gonna drop it into the car. It's about 6:30, so depending on how long everything takes, we may be able to start it tonight. I'm not thinking we will, but if not by tonight, then definitely by tomorrow. I got the head back from Marty. The only thing that was wrong was the two exhaust studs, which I think I covered already. So the head gasket was solid. I slapped the head on. I got all the bolts torqued down. That was 30 pneumatic inch-pounds, and then 90 degrees, 1 through 14, 90 degrees, 1 through 10, and then 45 degrees, 1 through 14. Don't quote me on that. Always look back to the actual OEM standards, but I think that's what it was. I had a little hiccup. I personally, for the life of me, can't remember if I gave all of them a 90-degree turn or not. I know I went torque spec, and I know I went the proper procedure, but I cannot for the life of me remember if I torqued them down another 90 degrees. Granted, when I gave them the 45-degree turn, which I thought was the last turn at that point, they started to get a little soft, which these bolts are meant to stretch because they're a one-time use. But when I felt it get soft, it wasn't like soft like it just sheared, but it got a little bit softer, and I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna call it good. But everything was torqued evenly and at the proper spec, other than maybe that 90 degree, but I don't think that's going to cause any issues, especially running a thicker head gasket. So I'll actually just throw you guys over to where the engine's at right now. Like I said, I didn't cover a lot when I was assembling it. I know I should have, especially with the 19Ts. And to anyone that's going to watch this video and be like, yeah, I want to see how you install the 19Ts, I'm fucking sorry. I'm not a how-to, but I'm going to show you guys the 19Ts installed. I've got the VRSF inlets halfway on. I've already got the outlets installed. I did have an issue with the outlets because I did buy them used. The silicone adapter that ties the front turbo outlet and the rear turbo outlet together, that had a small hole in it. So I've actually got some replacement hose, which is thicker. It's actually for like garbage trucks because, well, I work at a garbage company and this is the spare hose we had. So it's double braided. It's actually going to be more reliable than the silicone, I hope. So I got to throw that on. But the engine bay is just about ready. Like I said, I'm really just waiting on Eddie at this point. I'm just making sure everything's tight, everything's where it needs to be. And then as soon as Eddie shows up, like, I'm not even going to give him a chance to say hello. Like, we're jumping right into this because I want this engine in tonight. All right, so here we are. The eBay Special 19T turbos. Let me get my flashlight real quick if I can find it. Alright, so here we go. All new hardware throughout. Like I said, this piece I'm replacing here. I've reused my turbo feed lines, drain lines, coolant lines. I reused all those. I cleaned them up really well. New O-rings, cleaned them out, everything like that. Oil pan, of course, is torqued down to spec. I've got all the coolant pieces hooked up to the water pump, the thermostat. Like I said, I literally think I've got everything ready to go. So, if you guys haven't seen, that's the wheel on these 19Ts. I haven't put the exhaust gaskets in because, well, the engine's going to be moving around a lot while we're trying to set it in. So I'll just put those in once the engine's set down and in place. But the head's back on. Marty did a great job. Actually, I'll show you guys that as well. So the intake valves, let's see if I can zoom in here a little bit. The intake valves are really, really clean. The whole head was hot tanked, so whatever, like that carbon deposit you see, I'm sure if I took the sandblasting kit that I have to it, it would probably take care of that little bit, but honestly, the valves are the main part, and yeah, like, you can see that there's a little bit of buildup, but I'm gonna say fuck it. It's gonna be solid regardless because the whole head was hot tanked. So the only other things that I've got going on right now is I've got to find this bolt. I can't find this bolt to the fuel pump. Oh, let me zoom out here, my bad. I don't have this bolt to the fuel line, to the high pressure fuel rail. So I got to find that bolt or find a replacement bolt. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've tightened everything down. The intake manifold studs are torqued down properly. The whole fuel rail injectors, they're all in. The injectors actually got new O-rings as well. So if I was having any issues with the injectors, I shouldn't now. I don't know what side these... Yeah, if you can see right in there, that's a 12. So I've got index 12 all the way through the... or I got index 12 on all 6 injectors. So, yeah, this is where we're at. I'm just going to wait for Eddie to show up, and then I will jump back into where we're at once we get the transmission hooked up and everything. But yeah. Alright, so we got the torque converter on. I kind of forgot to put the other motor mount bracket on, so I got to put that on before it goes in the engine. I fixed the coupler on the outlets. That's fixed and patched. Well, not patched, but fixed. So next, we've got to set the engine down to get the mount bolt out, because we got to mount the tranny, so we got to figure out how we're going to hold the engine up and get the tranny mounted. But then once the tranny's mounted, we're dropping it in the car. Shout out to Eddie. Thanks. Alright, so we're about halfway into putting the engine back in the engine bay. We just took off the driver's side motor mount because the steering rack is going to be like right in the way, because the mount is right here and that steering rack's right there. So we decided to take the driver's side mount off. We're going to push it back, get the tranny mounts lined up, get that engine mount lined up, leave the hoist on it to hold the engine, hopefully be able to have enough room to shove that motor mount back in. Then if we can get both the motor mounts and the trans mounts in, we're calling it a night, because it's fucking 10 o'clock and this thing isn't even in yet. Alright, the engine's in. The motor mounts are in their position, but this motor mount on the passenger side, it's twisted just a little bit. Like I can get one bolt in, but the other bolt's not lined up, so I've got to jack the engine back up, twist that a little bit, and then line both of those bolts up. And then on this side, both bolts are twisted to where I can't line them up, and the ground strap that runs along this side of the transmission tunnel slipped through that hole, and then we set the engine mount on it. So I got to jack that up and pull that back out. But we're calling it a night. It's about 11 o'clock on a weekday. We both got to be up by like, what time do you get up? 4 or 5? Yeah, I get up at 5 too. So yeah, this is, but honestly, super, super fucking stoked. It looks so good with the fucking painted engine bay. Dude, did you like take a second to admire that? Yeah. Dude, I'm so stoked. I'm so happy. So tomorrow we're going to run it. Oh dude, these clamps are fucked. That's why we were having alignment issues. It was our outlet clamps. So yeah, I'll figure that out, all that shit out tomorrow. Regardless, it's in the engine bay. It's not going to go anywhere. We're calling it a fucking night. I mean, look. That's the fucking moon. It's late, but shout out to my boy Eddie. Again, thanks, bro. So yeah, tomorrow we are going to get it all assembled for the most part, get it to a point where we can crank it, prime the turbos, prime the fuel pump, and then hopefully start it. I don't want any of the front end on it until I know that there's no fucking oil leaks, that there's no issues here, there, or whatever. As long as that's squared away, the next day I'll slap the whole front end together and then begin breaking in the turbos for about 100 miles. So, yeah. I didn't realize I didn't get a closer for you guys for this video. There was a few things that I wish I would have done before we put the engine in. Installing the inlets. I know that there's going to be a ton of people that probably watch this, being that it's the 19T turbos that got installed. And everyone's going to call me an idiot for not installing the inlets before putting the engine in. And trust me, I know. Like, I spent the better part of 4 to 5 hours trying to put the rear inlet on. Like, I had the elbow on the turbo, but it needed to be adjusted. It came off, this, that, the other. It took 3 people and the matter of 5 hours, a few beers, a lot of cuss words. I mean, it was ridiculous. So and then the outlet clamps, I completely screwed myself over on those outlet clamps. They gouged the heat shield. And then they're in a spot now where I can't get to them. So if I have a boost leak from the outlet clamps, that's not going to be fun. But it's all going to be, work that's going to need to be done depending on everything with the tune and once it's pushing the actual power. We'll see. But the engine's in. I think I'm going to upload within the next couple days of actually the first start, how it sounds, how it ran, everything like that. But I appreciate you guys sticking with the build. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check me out on Instagram. Check out Eddie's channel. He's been coming through, helping me. He's been busting ass. He's been staying up there late nights. I will leave his channel link in the description. Again, I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, we're not that far from hopefully 620 horsepower. So thank y'all again, and we will catch you in the next one.